All right, all right, all right. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope you liked that little intro there. Thought I could use a little thing to like spruce up the intro a little bit, make it sound kind of cool. I think that song, just incredible. It fits with the theme pretty well. It's AI generated, so it kind of fits with like, ChatGPT generated content, yada yada. So it's in the same like, it fits everything basically. And I think it sounds really good. Quite enjoyable. And it's like just the right length to also give me time to like get in the zone, process what's about to happen, what's going on. Let me make sure this isn't too loud. There you go. Yeah, it's supposed to be background noise, not foreground noise. But yeah, here we go. Here we are. As you can see, if you're actually watching it, I have made some visual improvements. Hopefully, you will be able to read things on the screen a lot easier than before. I've moved a few things around, reorganized a little bit. I've even put this little strip at the bottom with the names of the characters and what their quote-unquote class is, just so that, it's easily readable right there. This inventory screen won't always be visible, so it's good to just have like a list of who they are, what their classes are, and maybe eventually I'll have some kind of little character sprites like right above them, show them what they actually look like and stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be a nice addition. Hopefully nothing like too intrusive, like kind of just sticking up a little bit. Nothing to get in the way of the actual thing that I want to pay attention to, which is obviously the dungeon master here. But I have, since last stream, okay, I've done a lot. I've put in a lot of work. So we're no longer working directly out of a little notepad and trying to sort through all the notes, because that was a nightmare. Trying to figure out all the information. None of it was organized. It was all kind of just thrown into a single notepad, and that was very confusing for me. So I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm already creating more and more notepads just to organize things, so I might as well do it right. So I'm now using this lovely app called Obsidian, and it is a very good program, especially for keeping things organized. And sometimes it's really good for story writing as well. So very good program. I like it a lot. I have gone through pretty much everything. I've even gone back to really high up in the scroll, like chapter 1 kind of stuff, and wrote some of the stuff down that was important. I don't know if you can see here, these are the places that we've been to, some of the places that we should remember probably. One of most is Sector 13, which apparently is called the Obsidian Spine. It is a spine facility. And and it is our base. It is where all of our items are stored, and it was the first spine location that we actually attacked. So yeah, Sector 13, that's where we fought. Yeah, see right here, it even says cleared out the core prophet and the prophet of spine. Fought both of those guys, and then we took over the whole base for ourselves. So Sector 13 is where we're based at, and that's our location. Obviously, Sector Omega, that's where we're at right now. We just defeated, I believe we defeated a couple of revenants that we had to fight, and then we... Oh man, my mind's a little foggy on it, but I'm pretty sure we got a lot of information that we did not have previously. We looted that room that we defeated them in, and we were given so many things. Not so much that I can't just go over right now. So let's see. So we have concepts here, and these concepts are things that I think are important that aren't really a place, aren't really a item. So it's just kind of like, eh. So yeah, there is Project Echo, which I believe was the first thing that we heard about that brought us to Sector Omega in the first place. Project Echo is the main reason we came here. It is supposedly the what is it like? Well, there's Echo fragments, is what they're called. But it's supposedly the main corruption agent of Spine and other things like that. It's the main problem we're having right now. It talks about Spine a little bit. I could do Spine as a concept, but Spine itself, I think we understand that concept pretty well, so we don't really need to put that as a new concept. One of the things that I really, really love about Obsidian is that you can do this. Okay? Now, if you're seeing this right now, this is a little graph view that shows all the different connections and stuff that I've made within all of the different notes, all of the name connections, all of the just references and stuff that I've made throughout the notes, so you can kind of see what kind of things are connected. And I think that's also going to help a little bit in figuring out what we need to do next. Now, last time, what we heard, K. Aurelian. Now, we don't know much about K. Aurelian. Must have something to do with Calypsy because Aurelian's her last name. Obviously, Calypsy, Aurelian. But Calypsy obviously doesn't start with a K, so it can't be Calypsy. It's got to be somebody else. It says they're missing in action. And they mention about the rift, okay? So the rift is here, Project Rift. Yeah. So the rift is apparently a interdimensional interface technology, okay? And they're experimenting on biological subjects to enhance the adaptability through the rift synchronization. Not sure what that means, but that's the information we were given. I'm assuming that they're maybe not able to enter the rift themselves, but if they create new biological subjects that can maybe withstand certain elements, I honestly don't know. I'm guessing we're gonna find out today. Yeah, we found a couple audio logs talking about how Rhaegor mentioned the Aurelian strain, or somebody else talked about Rhaegor and his obsession with the Aurelian strain, and I we don't know who this log is from, but it's clearly talking about Rhaegar. And we need to figure out what this Aurelian strain is, because currently, as you can see, our note for Aurelian strain is blank. That is because we have no clue. We have really no information on the Aurelian strain that will be helpful for us. So that's one of the things that we'll have to look into. Echo Prime is also something we have no idea what that is. Obviously Project Echo, Echo Prime, yada yada. They sound similar, but I'm sure Echo Prime has some other reason for being named differently. I think it had something to do with Rhaegar, but we don't have any definitive like sources for that. Nothing that really screams at us like, hey, this is for sure what this is about. We have no idea. I mean, even if I just try to search it, like Echo Prime. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, the only instance it says sticking in his mind, it's tied to Spine's experimental projects. That's not helpful. I'm gonna copy this because that's nice to have. That Molex actually knows a little bit about that we don't. Do we have a data log about Echo Prime? I didn't think so. We have 4 matches. Hold on. Fragment logs referencing Project Echo Prime. Do we actually read those logs? I don't think we actually read those logs. It thinks that we read those logs, but I don't think we actually read those logs. Man, this here was me just distributing loot after the battle. What did he try to decrypt? The dog tags? Yeah, he decrypted the dog tags. He didn't decrypt the other data, so we didn't get that information. It's possible we could still decrypt that information. I think we're still here, like we're still inside the same area. We just defeated those revenants. So if I just tell Molex to say the data logs, what did it say exactly? A highly classified spine experiment. Fragmented logs. Yeah, I wonder if there's a way for him to read that, so let's give it a shot. Let's say, attempts to read the fragmented logs of Project Echo Prime. We already searched the room, so we do not need to search it again. So I'm going to have the rest of the team just stand guard and let Molex do his thing. There's a potential we might get some more information here, especially about Echo Primes. I really hope. I'm pretty sure he's going to roll for it, so let's see if we roll good. Partial success, so We're not going to get as much information as we probably want. That's fine, that's fine. Settled beside the flickering remnants of the spine terminal, Malik syncs with the corrupted data logs, his syncore humming as he digs into the files of Project Echo Prime. Despite his expertise, Spine's encryption proves resilient, layered, and intentionally fragmented. He manages to pull pieces of data, but the files are riddled with corruption. So you roll a 12, a partial success. The recovered fragments. File header. Classified Project Echo Prime. Status corrupted file entry. Primary directive Echo must not fragment further. If destabilization reaches critical threshold, containment will be data corrupted. Experimental log. We thought we could integrate. What was that? Oh, hi. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. We thought we can integrate Echo into the Spine framework, make it adaptable, recursive, but it's not bound by logic anymore. It speaks and echoes itself, layering over time like memories that shouldn't exist. We're losing control. The longer it remains unstable, the longer the distortions become. Well, good, you found the right place. Let's see. Security alert. Core breach detected. Echo Prime is no longer responding to command protocols. Ooh. It's rewriting itself. Emergency lockdown procedures engaged. It's already inside. We've heard this before. We've heard it's already inside before. That is interesting. So we've heard several other people say that. And that is scary. Okay, let's see. Yep, the implications. Echo Prime appears to be an intelligent entity tied to the spine system. The log entry suggests it has evolved beyond control, acting independently, possibly rewriting its own existence. The phrase, it's already inside. Yeah, yeah, see, it knows. It's already inside repeats, suggesting Echo Prime may still exist within the network, possibly lurking in the infrastructure of Sector Omega, or even beyond. Yeah, we've heard it. We've heard that phrase from people even outside of Sector Omega. So he's, yeah, Echo Prime is definitely far-reaching, more than they should expect. What can my ChatGPT do? Well, it is a D&D GPT, so it runs this game like a dungeon master. So that's why this stream is called ChatGPT Dungeon Master, because he's kind of running the whole show here. But we've been building this whole story for a while now. I have two other parts. One of them is quite long. I think one is like 7 hours long, and then the next one is like 2. But we started in chapter 2 because chapter 1 was kind of like a private thing between friends. So there's no way we went over it a little bit in the first episode of what happened in chapter 1. So yeah, it would be pretty cool. Let's see. Disturbing correlation between spine corruption and Project Echo Prime could be connected to Malik's unsync core. Maybe. Okay, so we know this. We already know that Malik's is a part of spine. He might not be corrupted, but he is still a part of them. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna take this entire thing, because all of this seems somewhat important, and we're gonna put it in there. And I forgot we cannot have these. It's fine. I'll try to be quick about it. Let's see here. Maybe I should tell ChatGPT not to use these anymore. Might listen, might not. I don't know. All right. Yep. So we have a ton of more information now about Echo Prime. I knew that we needed to look into that. What is it? What am I trying to say here? The fragmented logs. Yeah, the fragmented logs that were inside the system. So yeah. So we searched that. Now let's see. Let's see. What do we do now? Share with the team immediately. I want to say that he will reconvene with the team and talk about the different things he found on the terminal and the decrypted stuff. So let's do that. Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 and Pokemon mix. That's a very interesting combination. Very interesting. Let's see. Revelations in the dark. The chamber is eerily silent, save for the faint hum of spine terminals still flickering with corrupted data. The remains of the slain revenants lay twisted and motionless, their static-filled death cries long since faded. Moloch, still connected to the terminal, gathers the team, his expression unreadable. His sync core flickers faintly, almost as if reacting to the discoveries. He keeps his tone measured, though there's an underlying weight to his words. On Project Rift, Spine's experimentation went beyond technology. It tampered with reality itself. Calypso's curse may not be a simple affliction. It could be a byproduct of genetic manipulation tied to the Project Rift. Rhaegor is mentioned in relation to stabilizing the Rift engine, meaning he was directly involved in Spine's research. Aurelian was involved in Spine's experimental division under Project Rift. They were labeled as unstable due to genetic synchronization failures. Their status is MIA, but their last known location is still within Sector Omega. Moloch takes a pause before delivering the final, most unsettling piece. Echo Prime wasn't just a program, it evolved into something else. It has rewritten itself, breaking free from Spine's control. The log files repeated one phrase: it's already inside. It could be here, it could still be here, buried within Spine's corrupted framework, or worse, active and influencing the world in unseen ways. Calypso, her claws dig slightly into her palm, teeth gritted in frustration. So, everything I thought I knew about my curse, about what that bastard did to me, was just more spine bullshit? She shakes her head, pacing slightly. And now this Echo Prime thing is another wild card. I'm sick of these damn ghosts. Rogia doesn't speak immediately, but her fingers tighten around the dog tags Moloch's decrypted. The name Aurelian lingers in her mind. Her voice is quieter than usual. If that person, Aurelian, was involved in Project Rift, they were unstable, then they might still be alive, somewhere. She avoids looking at Calypso directly, knowing how much this revelation could shake her. Eudora, a deep sadness flickers in her eyes, but she remains calm. We don't have the full picture yet, but if we do nothing, these answers will stay buried. We need to keep going. Her vines shift slightly, as if in response to her emotions. Whatever Echo Prime is, it hasn't made its move yet. Mollix exhales, closing his interface. There's more here than just old files and failed experiments. We're walking through the wreckage of something far bigger than we thought. He glances back at the corrupted spine terminal. The deeper we go, the worse it's going to get. But at this point, we don't have a choice. But we do. We have a choice. So what do we do? Let's see here. Prioritize finding out more about Aurelian. Honestly, I kind of want to. We know a little bit more about Echo Prime now. But the Aurelian strain specifically is something that we have zero information on. We got a lot of info on Project Rift. We just got more info on Project Echo and Echo Prime. Aurelian strain, though, that is something that we have zero information on, and it would be entirely valuable to know more about it. Maybe Aurelian sounds like she's in this facility. Assuming it's a she. I'm going to assume it's a she. Sounds like a she. Maybe just because Aurelian sounds like a girl's name. But that's Calypsy's last name, so... Or not Calypsy. Well, yeah, it is... Sorry, Calypsy's last name. So, obviously... It could... The K could stand for... Kyle. I don't know. Not literally, but it could stand for anything. We don't know. This could definitely still be a guy. Did they say she? Did they say she? Am I tripping? No, they didn't say it all. They didn't say it all. They just said it's a person. Okay, so yeah, we don't know. We don't know who it is, but we'll find out. We'll surely find out. That is something that we should look into. Does Rosia confront Calypsy about what she knows regarding Rhaegor? No, not yet. So for those watching, Rhaegor, the person that we originally came here looking for, and Calypsy believes wholeheartedly that Rhaegor is the sole issue with her curse. And she is on a warpath right now, trying to get at Rhaegor to end her curse and end her suffering, basically. However, Calypsy does not know that Rosia is Rhaegor's daughter. So they're related. And Rosia being part of the group that is actively trying to hunt her father down, basically, it's a little conflicting. Eudora knows because Rosia talked to Eudora. Mollix knows because he overheard the conversation between the two over the recon drone that we have. He just picked up the conversation. The only person that doesn't know right now is Calypsy, and everyone is worried about how Calypsy will respond to this information. She might attack Rosia because they're related. I don't know. Maybe she might think that she's in on it. Who knows? But yeah, that's where we're at with that. There's some internal drama going on right now that we're not sure how it's going to play out, especially when we find Rhaegor. If we find Rhaegor, I'm not sure what Rosie is going to do. I think I'm going to have ChatGPT roll for it, honestly, because she's so conflicted right now, and she's stressed. She's very stressed. So let's see here. Does Eudora push for a tactical pause to prepare before moving deeper? I mean, we're pretty dang prepared. In that last attack, actually, in the last episode, we didn't take a single hit of damage. They took some swings at us. I'm pretty sure Calypsy got swung at twice in the same turn, and she bobbed and weaved. she dodged both of them, which was incredible, absolutely incredible. So yeah, I don't think anybody actually took damage, so we don't really need to prepare. We're ready. So we're gonna... Yeah, I think the team is going to decide to look more into Aurelian. here we go. Hunting a ghost. How fitting. The search for Aurelian. The decision is made. Whatever Project Rift was trying to achieve, whatever Spine was experimenting on, Aurelian was at the center of it. Their name keeps appearing in fragments of decrypted data, a missing piece in the puzzle no one asked to solve. And now, they might be the key to understanding what happened to Calypsy. Moloch scans through last known location logs while cross-referencing the decrypted dog tags. Yeah, that's an item that we found, the dog tags. See, can I actually... I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Dog tags. Yeah, here we go. There's the dog tags. Sector Omega, sublevel redacted, experimental holding ward 0 to 9. 0 to 9. Subject classification classified. There's a lot of classification and redacted information that we just we don't know. Moloch frowns slightly, running calculations. Sector Omega has lower levels that were sealed off. If the records are correct, Aurelian was last reported in one of them. That means either they were abandoned here or they're still down there. Calypsy crosses her arms, her frustration shifting to something closer to anticipation. Then we go down. If there's even a chance they're alive, I need to know. And if they're not, I want to know what the hell Spine did to them. So, yeah, Calypsy doesn't even know, I'm pretty sure, who Aurelian is. Let's see, the team regroups at the far end of the chamber where a sealed blast door stands between them and the unknown depths of Sector Omega sublevels. The metal is scorched and partially rusted, showing signs of previous damage. Emergency lockdown warnings flicker on the control panel, though most of the text is unreadable. A small bioscanner sits to the side, powered but unresponsive to standard inputs. Moloch taps the side of his helmet, scanning the system. What, is he wearing a helmet? I don't know. I guess he's wearing a helmet. Well, they're apparently wearing armor too, but I don't know what they're actually wearing because I never specified. It's locked with something more than just a code. It could be a biometric access, meaning whoever was down there wasn't supposed to leave. Rosia steps forward, examining the bioscanner. She glances at the dog tags. If Aurelian was held down there, then maybe the clearance still works. But that means we'd need a biological match. Eudora steps closer, her expression thoughtful. If their lineage is connected to Calypsy, then... yeah. Yup. Calypsy's not going to be happy about it, but she's going to have to use her own... Yep. I could potentially bypass the lock, but there's no point if we can just get Calypsy to open it for us. Yep. One it is. Something tells me it's gonna work. Something's telling me it's gonna work. The air is tense as Calypsy steps forward. The bioscanner hums softly, its dull glow reflecting off her fur and the few scattered dragon scales that now mark her transformation. Her heartbeat is steady, but beneath the surface, something in her instincts coils tight. She places her hand against the panel. For a long moment, nothing happens. Then suddenly, scanning, genetic profile detected, partial match to subject Aurelian. Clearance override accepted. A series of loud clicks echo from inside the blast door as an old, rusted locking mechanism grinds into motion. The team steps back as a massive reinforced barrier shudders, then slowly pulls open, revealing a descending corridor of blackened steel. Something is wrong. As the door slides open, the air that escapes from within feels wrong. It's stagnant, stale, like it hasn't been disturbed in decades. The walls are lined with flickering red emergency lights, casting deep shadows that stretch unnaturally. There's no sound beyond the team's own breathing. No movement, no signs of life. Rosia's ears twitch, her tail flicking lightly. This place was sealed for a reason. Mollux adjusts his visor. Syncing with this scout drone. We're officially the first people in here since Omega went dark. Calypsy steps forward, peering down the corridor. Her claws tighten slightly, and for the first time, her anger is tinged with something else. Uncertainty. Then let's find out why. Sector Omega sublevel 09. Oh, we're going all the way to 9. Okay. Oh, it was 09 and not like 0 to 9. Okay. The team moves cautiously through the opening, their footsteps echoing in the metal corridor. As they move deeper, the air thickens, almost as if something unseen is watching. The emergency lights pulse faintly, flickering in sequence, as if reacting to their presence. Broken medical equipment and shattered containment pods line the walls, their interiors long empty. The deeper they go, the colder it gets. Eudora runs a hand along the walls, frowning. The energy here isn't natural. It feels displaced. Ahead, at the far end of the hallway, a massive reinforced glass wall stands intact. Beyond it, the remains of a large containment chamber loom in the darkness. And in the center of that chamber, a single cryogenic pod stands upright, covered in thick frost, its control panel still flickering with power. Project Rift. Subject 9. Designation, K. Aurelian. Status, unknown. Oh, lordy, lord. Check the room for traps. Check the room for traps. Check the room for traps. We don't know anything about this room right now. We definitely shouldn't be touching that pod right now. K. Aurelian could be dangerous. We have no idea who that is or what their motives are. Let's see. As the team carefully scans the chamber for any potential threats or hidden traps, their findings vary. Calypsy investigation, 21, success. Calypsy's sharp instincts immediately pick up something off about the flooring near the cryopod. A faint, nearly invisible pressure plate is positioned directly in front of the pod. Its design suggests it's a security failsafe, likely connected to whatever containment procedures were in place for K. Aurelian. Triggering it might activate defensive systems or worse, wake the subject violently. Wow, I'm surprised Rosia got such a low score. She's supposed to be an investigator. Rosia notices a sign of prior struggle in the chamber, deep claw marks on the walls, as if something once fought against this containment. The air feels wrong, thick with residual arcane energy, but she can't pinpoint its source. Mollux finds a control panel near the cryopod that are locked, requiring a manual override. He doesn't detect any electronic security systems, but without deeper access, there's no telling what will happen if they interact with the pod. Eudora senses traces of life within the pod, but it's unstable. The biological energy inside feels layered, fragmented, as if the being within is not entirely whole. There is an unnatural pull to the room. Something is still lingering here. Let's see. Let's do. Yeah, let's have Molex try to hack into it and disable the trap. That'll probably be the best move. Come on, good rolls, good rolls, good rolls. Come on. Don't set off this trap, please. Molex kneels beside the control panel, his sync core pulsing faintly as he connects to the cryopod security systems. The encryption is old, fragmented, but beneath the surface it's clear. This failsafe was designed was designed to trigger something lethal. But Molex, he's already inside. With a few precise overrides, and failsafe dissolves instantly. The pressure plate becomes inactive, and the red security indicators flicker green, and the panel gives a soft confirmation tone. Security protocols disabled. Cryopod status stable. Subject ready for controlled revival. Oh my god, revival. Holy shit. The room remains silent. The only thing left now is to wake K. Aurelian. Okay. Her energy, what? Collapse. Items. Nope, not items. Chip. Inventory. Her prototype energy blade. I knew that. Defensive positions, defensive positions. Just in case, you never know. I mean, sure, K. Aurelian sounds fine now, but could be extremely dangerous. Like I said, we literally have no idea what we're waking up right now. This is extreme. We should have maybe looked around for more information before just diving in. But heck, who cares? Let's do it. Alright, the cryopod stands silent, its glass surface coated in a thick layer of frost and condensation. The emergency lights pulse softly, as if responding to the shift in the air. Calypsy steps forward, one hand pressing against the freezing glass, her other gripping the hilt of her energy blade. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, a low hum fills the chamber as the pod control systems reactivate. Cryostatus, stabilizing. Biological sync rate, unknown. Warning, subject in critical stasis. Beginning revival sequence. The glass slowly unseals. A loud hiss of pressurized air escapes from the pod as the locking mechanisms disengage. The glass case splits open, steam rolling out in thick, cold tendrils shrouding the figure inside. The first thing Calypsy sees is long, silver white hair, matted from years of cryo exposure. Then, a pair of clawed fingers twitch. The figure shudders violently, gasping in a sharp, pained breath as their eyes snap open. A deep, piercing gold. Okay. Calypsy's eyes are not gold. They're not gold. It's fine. We'll just pretend it's we'll pretend. For a moment, they stagger, still frozen, struggling to keep forward as they collapse onto their hands and knees, coughing. Their skin is ashen, their frame thin yet eerily strong. And then they speak. Their voices hoarse, weak, but the words are clear. How long? Molex keeps his weapon raised, scanning them with his sync core, analyzing their biological and neural stability. Rosia stays tense, her rifle locked on them, watching for any sudden movements. Eudora glances at Calypsy, sensing the overwhelming tension between them. Calypsy just stares. There's no denying it. Their face is different, but the features are close. Their presence feels almost identical. Their golden eyes match. Okay, yep, that again. The golden eyes match hers perfectly. This isn't just someone related to her. This is her. Okay, wait a second. Molex is supposed to be the clone here, not Calypsy. What is going on here? Past version, a failed version, a discarded experiment. Aurelian was Calypsy before Calypsy. Okay, this is a very weird revelation, because Calypsy was not technically supposed to be part of the cloning process. Do you think maybe they stole Calypsy's DNA to use in their program? Oh, it's very possible. Calypsy looks over at Eudora, then waves her over. Eudora, quick, try healing her up a little. Eudora, although tense, lowers her weapon and rushes in, using her powers to heal Aurelian. Molex and Rosia exchange a worried glance, but still stay ready for a fight. Without hesitation, Eudora rushes forward, her hands already glowing with soft, verdant energy. The pulse of her magic wraps around Aurelian's frail, trembling form, and immediately the tension in her body eases. The cryo-chill still lingers, but the healing warmth seeps into their skin, stabilizing their erratic breathing. The weakness that once weighed them down eases slightly, though the scars of their past remain. Healing effectiveness 22. Critical success. It only healed 9 HP. Yikes. Aurelian's condition stabilizes significantly if they're still weak and confused. Their fingers twitch, claws retracting slightly as they lift their head to truly look at Calypsy. The resemblance is undeniable. For a moment, silence stretches between them. Then a hoarse, broken voice. Aurelian speaks again. You're... me. Calypsy tenses her hand, tightening slightly around her energy blade. Malik subtly shifts, his Syncor running enhanced scans. Rosia stays silent, but her grip on her weapon remains firm, and Eudora keeps her hands lightly on Aurelian's shoulders, stabilizing them further. Pity? Pity. Aurelian stares at Calypsy, their golden eyes flickering with fragmented recognition. They don't answer right away, as if they aren't entirely sure. Their breathing steadies slightly under Eudora's healing touch, but their mind is still distant, scattered. Finally, in a soft, raw voice, they respond, I think I was called Kira. The name hangs in the air, fragile but real. Not just a designation, an identity. They blink slowly, shifting slightly against the icy metal of the pod's interior. Their gaze drifts downwards as if lost in thought before flickering back up to Calypsy. And you're the one who got away, aren't you? Calypsy's heart beats faster, but she keeps her voice steady. Malik's Syncor pulses, running diagnostics on their cognitive patterns, yada yada. Rosia tenses slightly, her tail flickering, a subtle sign of unease. Eudora remains calm in the presence, gently grounding Kira's trembling frame. Then there's a pause, and then Kira lets out a weak, bitter chuckle. Of course you don't remember. You weren't meant to. Her gaze flickers to Malix, then Rosia, then back to Calypsy. What year is it? Oh shoot, I forgot what year this... I forgot what year this is based in. Year? Can I start by year? Not really. Not very helpful. Okay, there was like 2. Can I search for 2? Oh, there's gonna be a lot of 2s. Never mind. Go all the way back up. Let's see. Is there a year somewhere? Give me a year. Give me a year. It's got to be somewhere at the top, right? Like, that would make the most sense. I should really write that down somewhere too. Here we go. Here we go. The date is cycle 47. Okay, that's good information to have. Concepts? No. Where would I put something like that? I don't know. New note? Let's do a new note. There you go. Yep, okay, we found it. We're good. We're good. Oh yeah, and then Noctis Verge is the, I think it's the land, it's the general area. I'll save that later, it's fine. Alright, let's go back down here. Yep, sorry, slight detour. Okay, we're good. What year is it? I can safely say it is 2217 AF after the fracture. Cycle 4. So should I say cycle 47? I don't know. I don't know if that has any relevance to her. Oh, I could just say she tells the truth. Dodges the question. Reflects during the question. You know, I'm gonna tell her, but I'm gonna ask what the last time they remember is. So I'm gonna do 1 and 2. Let's see. Alright, we're gonna go over here. Character description. We know what the K stands for now. Kira. Kira. Yes. Yes. All mention of K. Aurelian. Let's see here. Let me do this. Yeah, this one too. And last one. There we go. Oh, wait, one more. You know, actually, technically speaking, anytime she is mentioned, Kira. Kira. Yeah, that one already links. Maybe we don't want it to link like that. Let's link like this. Fine. Yeah, we have the link right there. It's fine. Tags are important. Don't link like that unless we have to. Alright. There we go. Everything's tagged. Good, good. Cryogenic stasis. Right, there we go. Alright, sorry, just updating my files. It's hard to keep all this data intact. Alright, let's see here. Kira blinks slowly, her expression unreadable as she processes the number. 2217 AF. She lets out a shaky breath, her fingers gripping the edge of the cryopod as if grounding herself. For a moment, no one speaks. Then, in a voice barely above a whisper, she answers. The last year I remember I was 1861 AF. Calypsy's stomach tightens. That's over 300 years missing. Malak's sync flickers rapidly, running deep cycle. He's just doing stuff. Rosie's eyes widen slightly. Her grip on a rifle tightening. Yeah. Calypsy's voice is quiet but firm. You've been in cryo for over 300 years. Kira flinches, not physically, but something in her expression cracks. Her golden eyes flicker with something too raw to name. Grief, confusion, anger, all tangled into one. 300 years. She lets out a shaky exhale, pressing her forehead against the rim of the pod. Her next words are hoarse, almost like she's trying to convince herself. They said it was just going to be for stabilization, that the rift sync would fix me. She closed her eyes, her body trembling. They lied. Calypsy moves closer, extending a steadying hand to Kira as she helps her out of the cryopod. Kira's legs shake beneath her, muscles weakened by centuries of stasis. For a brief moment, their hands touch, and it feels like touching a ghost. Kira winces slightly, as if even standing as a shock to her system. Eudora keeps a watchful eye, ensuring her healing efforts continue to stabilize her. The team takes a moment to settle. The air is tense, but quieter. The hum of the old spine systems, the only sound left in the chamber. Then, as they all gather near the cryopod, Calypsy finally speaks. Her voice is measured but insistent. Kira, what the hell happened to you? Kira is quiet for a long time. She's staring down at her own hands, flexing her fingers as if they belong to someone else. When she finally speaks, her voice is low and brittle, like a whisper from the past. I was part of the rift system, or the... Dang it. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I was part of the rift synchronization trials. One of the early ones. She glances at Mollix, eyes flickering with recognition of his spine interface. Spine wanted to use the rift engine to stabilize people like us. Hybrids. Wolf-dragon anomalies. Her golden eyes meet Calypsy's, and for a moment, they are mirrors of each other. I was the prototype. They built me to be the first successful sync candidate. I was supposed to be proof that we could be more than the genetic instability that plagued our kind. She breathes in, shuddering. But the rift engine doesn't just stabilize, it rewrites. Kira clenches her fist, jaw tightening. At first, it worked. I was stronger, faster. I could think in ways no one else could. Her hands shake slightly. But then I started hearing things, seeing things that weren't real. My memories kept fracturing, overlapping. I could remember entire days before they even happened. She looks up, eyes filled with something haunted. I could hear my own voice in my head, but it wasn't me. A deep breath, a shudder. It was unraveling. She presses a hand to her temple. Spine didn't want to fix me. They wanted to see how long I'd last. Kira swallows hard, and for the first time, there's a sharp edge to her voice. They called it Echo Prime. The moment a rift sync subject started breaking down, they classified them as an echo, a failure. Her fingers tighten into fists. I wasn't stable anymore. I was a liability. So they locked me in this chamber, put me in cryo, and erased my name. She gestures weakly around the ruined sublevel. This isn't a research facility. This is a graveyard. Her golden eyes burning now, locked onto Calypsy's. And if you're here now, then tell me, how many more of us did they make? Ooh, goddamn. Okay, let's see. Calypsy feels a tightness in her chest because she doesn't know the answer. Yeah, Calypsy doesn't know any of this. She doesn't even know that she's part of this at all. She doesn't know that she was made by the Spine. Or by the project at all. She doesn't know she was even a part of it. Mollix frowns, running silent diagnostics through his sync core. He's seen echoes of this pattern before, possibly within himself. Yeah, because he's a clone, so he would know. He kind of knows the genetic makeup of a clone. I'm surprised he hasn't seen it before if he had done any kind of diagnostics on Calypsy, but Rosia is still gripping the dog tags in her pocket, knowing she may have been caught up in something far more dangerous than just hunting Rhaegor. Eudora looks at Kira with deep empathy, but she knows the anger in her voice isn't just pain, it's vengeance. Oh no, do we have another one? Do you have another person who's gonna be vengeful against Rosia's father? Is Rhaegar this deep that he's experimenting, he's creating new life, and then just leaving them for dead because they didn't work how they wanted him to? Oh my god. Rhaegar can't be this bad. He's not that bad of a father. There's no way he would do this. There's no way he would do this. This isn't like him. I mean, he could have just been doing what he was told, I guess. Maybe he was running these experiments based on what Spine wanted. Whatever it took to run the Rift engine, right? Echo Prime. The moment a Rift Sync subject started breaking down, they classified them as Echo. As an Echo. What is Echo Prime like? They're looking for the prime candidate for the Rift program? Well, that's gonna be a little hard to write down. All right, let's see. Reality interface field technology. Calypsy's brows furrow, her grip tightening slightly on the edge of Kira's cryopod. The rift. She spent so much time blaming Rhaegor for what happened to her, but now, with Kira standing in front of her, a ghost of herself from centuries ago, she's starting to wonder if she never knew the full truth at all. She fixes her gaze on Kira, steady and unrelenting. Do you know anything more about the rift itself? Kira's golden eyes flicker slightly, her expression unreadable. For a moment, it looks like she doesn't want to answer. Then she sighs, pressing her palm against her temple as if the memories physically hurt. The rift isn't a place, it's a construct. She exhales slowly, her body still weak with her voice, but her voice stronger now. The rift engine wasn't supposed to exist. It was an accident. Spine was running experiments on interdimensional synchronization, trying to stabilize hybrid anomalies like us, but something went wrong. Instead of fixing our genetic structures, it started rewriting them. She pauses, staring down at her hands. The problem is, the rift doesn't just rewrite, it duplicates, it echoes. Her gaze darkens. Spine never fixed us. They just kept making more of us again and again until one of us finally worked. Mollix, who had been running quiet sync core scans, suddenly frowns. He steps forward, staring at Kira, then at Calypsy, his voice measured, analytical, but firm. That explains why you and I have the same DNA structure. Calypsy snaps her attention toward him, confused. Mollix continues, his tone unwavering. When I ran a scan on Kira, her genetic sequence wasn't just similar to mine. It matched the same structural anomalies found in Spine's cloning projects. I'm built on fragments of someone else. I already knew that. His sync core pulses faintly as he shifts his gaze towards Calypsy. But I'm seeing those same markers in you too. The words hit like a freight train. Calypsy stares at Mollix, stunned. Her voice low, sharp, laced with disbelief. No, that's not possible. Her ears flicked back, her claws curling slightly. I remember my life. I grew up as a wolf. I remember my home, my pack, my parents. She stops herself, jaw tightening, because even as she says it, something feels wrong. There's a small flicker of something at the edge of her mind. A memory that doesn't quite fit. Something that she never questioned before, but suddenly feels off. Kira watches her with unsettling expression, a mix of pity, understanding, and grief. You really don't remember, do you? Calypsy's eyes snap back to her, defensive. Remember what? Kira breathes in slowly. Then, in a quiet, almost haunted voice, she says, You were never meant to. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Calypsy does not like this news. She's not happy. I mean, basically, her entire life is like confused with what she knows and what probably actually happened. Her whole life could be a lie, and she didn't even know it. Calypsy takes a step back, her ears flicking sharply, tail bristling with irritation. Her voice is firm and almost angry. That's bullshit. Kira doesn't flinch. Calypsy points at her own chest, her claws flexing slightly. I know my life. I know where I came from. I know who I am. I wasn't made in some goddamn lab like Mollix. I remember my childhood. I remember everything. Her words come out fast, defensive, sharp. But in the back of her mind, something feels off. like a flickering echo of something she can't quite grasp. Kira just watches her. For the first time, she looks tired. Not angry, not bitter, just exhausted. Excuse me. She rubs her temples, her golden eyes closing for a moment before she exhales. Then tell me, her voice is soft, almost resigned. What's your first memory? Calypsy opens her mouth to respond immediately, but then she pauses. She knows her childhood. She remembers growing up as a wolf, but now that she's being forced to recall something so specific, her mind falters. Is there a memory of running through the forest, chasing after something, the feeling of wind on her fur? But when she tries to focus on the details, it glitches. She can't remember what she was chasing. She can't remember the faces of her pack. She can't remember if she was even really there. A sharp headache spikes behind her eyes, like something is actively preventing her from digging deeper. Mollix watches intently, his analytical mind already working through the implications. He doesn't say it out loud, but the answer is obvious. Calypsy remembers her childhood, but only in fragments. If those memories were fabricated, altered, or rewritten, she wouldn't know until now. Rosia finally speaks. The silence stretches, thick with tension, then Rosia steps forward. Her voice is quiet, hesitant, but firm. Calypsy. Calypsy's head snaps toward her. Rosia hesitates, her tail flicking behind her, a nervous habit. Then she takes a breath. If you really believe you're not like Kira, then we need to prove it. She glances at Mollix, then at Eudora. We need to run a deeper scan, not just genetics, your memories. She turns back to Calypsy. We find out the truth right now. Calypsy snarls, her frustration boiling over into something sharper. Her claws flex, her tail flicking sharply, ears pinned back. I don't need a damn scan to tell me who I am. Her voice echoes in the chamber, charged with something dangerously close to desperation. I know what's real. I know what's fake. I don't need you telling me otherwise. Before anyone can stop her, she turns on her heel and storms off, pushing past the team and heading straight for the exit. The heavy doors that led them into this abandoned facility grind open, and the stale cold air of Sector Omega, ruins, washes over her as she disappears into the corridors beyond. Rosia curses under her breath, exhaling sharply. Her fingers twitch as if she wants to follow, but she stays put, watching instead. Mollix frowns, arms crossed, his synchor pulsing faintly. She's running from something, maybe from herself? Eudora watches the door for a long moment, concern flickering in her gaze. She takes a breath and turns to Kira. Is this what you did when you started to break? Oh, that's a good point. Oh man, I didn't even consider that. Kira lets out a quiet, bitter laugh, rubbing her forehead. I ran too, but it never outran me. Her golden eyes flicked towards the door where Calypsy vanished. You should go after her before she finds out the truth alone. I can never spell his name. There it is. It's RH. I knew that. Haegor. Yep. Persuasion. Mollux narrows his eyes, stepping closer toward Kira with a calculated approach. His Syncor hums faintly, adjusting the micro expressions on her face, her breathing, the tension in her posture. He's done analyzing the data. Now he wants the truth. Rosia folds her arms, standing beside him, tail flicking subtly, her presence acting as a reinforcing pressure. Her eyes fixed on Kira, voice measured but sharp. You know more than you're saying. Mollux nods, backing her up. Enough avoiding the subject. We need answers about this place, about Project Rift, about Rhaegor Ivanov. Okay. I'm gonna assume that she knows that. Well, no, we don't know that Mollux knows. But we do now. His Syncor pulses slightly, start talking. For a moment, Kira looks at them both. Then she exhales, shaking her head. You two work well together. That's dangerous. She crosses her arms, leaning back against the edge of the cryopod, expression shifting from uncertainty to resigned clarity. What Kira knows about Sector Omega and Project Rift. Sector Omega was never just a research facility. Kira gestures toward the ruined chamber around them. It was a proving ground. Every failed experiment, every anomaly that Spine couldn't control was sent here. Either they stabilized or they were buried. She lets out a bitter chuckle. I was one of the lucky ones. They kept me on ice instead of tearing me apart to see what went wrong. She pauses, then looks at Mollix dead in the eyes. You were made here too. Maybe not in this exact room, but this facility is where the groundwork for your existence began. Mollix's sin core flares slightly, processing the implications. What Kira knows about Rhaegar. As at the mention of Rhaegar, Kira's expression darkens. She frowns slightly, voice lowering. Rhaegar wasn't just involved in Project Rift. She glances toward the exit, as if making sure Calypsi isn't within earshot. He funded it. Silence falls over the chamber. Rosia's ears flick back slightly, but she stays quiet, waiting. Mollix doesn't blink. Explain. Kira exhales. Rhaegar was obsessed with genetic evolution, hybridization, immortality, adaptation. He believed the Rift engine was the key to controlling it. He personally oversaw several of the Rift synchronization trials, and from what I remember, she shakes her head, he wasn't just studying us. He was looking for something, or someone. Her golden eyes meet Mollix, then Rosia. If he's still alive after all these years, he found it. Rosia's fingers curl slightly, a small tremor running through her hand. Mollix catches it, but she doesn't speak. Instead, she just stares at Kira, at the ruined facility, at everything she now realizes she was never meant to know. Mollix doesn't hesitate. His sync core pulses slightly, processing the weight of everything they've learned. Then he just says it. Rosia, I already know the answer to this, but I need you to say it out loud. His eyes flicker behind his visor as he watches her closely. Rhaegar Ivanov is your father. Rosia goes still. There's a sharp inhale, her tail flickering once, and for the first time in a long while, she looks genuinely caught off guard. Her eyes snap toward Malix, then Kira, then back to him. She doesn't deny it, but she doesn't speak either, not right away. Instead, her hands curl into fists, nails biting into her palms, and then, quietly, You eavesdropped on me? Her voice is low, sharp, but there's no real anger behind it, just shock. Malix doesn't apologize. It was relevant. He's so nonchalant, he just says, I don't know, I overheard it. It sounded relevant to me. Might as well. She steps back slightly, running a hand through her hair, pacing once as she takes a breath. Then finally she lets out a half laugh, half scoff. I knew my father did some shady work. I knew he wasn't clean, but this? Her voice shakes slightly, tail flicking sharply behind her. You're telling me my father funded the genetic experiments that created... She gestures vaguely at Kira and Malix. Whatever the hell this is? Kira watches her closely, her golden eyes narrowing slightly. If it makes you feel any better, he probably lied to you too. That hits harder than it should. Rosia grits her teeth. No, that actually makes it worse. Malix folds his arms, watching the way Rosia reacts, calculating. So, tell me, do you know anything that could connect him to this? To us? To Spine? His voice isn't accusing, it's direct. Rosia shakes her head, exhaling sharply. I don't know anything, Malix. I grew up knowing my father. He was into black market tech, cybernetic warfare, contract work. Hell, he even experimental weapons. But genetic manipulation? Rift tech? Cloning? I knew none of this. She pauses. Then she frowns, her mind racing through old memories. But... She crosses her arms, looking distant. When I was a kid, my dad was gone a lot. I didn't think much of it. I figured he was working, like always. Her eyes narrowed slightly, trying to recall. But one night, he came home late. And I mean late. Middle of the damn night. I woke up because I heard him talking, like he was having an argument. Her ears flick back, voice lowering. I only caught a few words before he shut it down, but I remember what he said. I didn't think about it until now because it didn't make much sense at the time. She meets Malix's gaze, dead serious. He said, "The rift is unstable. If it fails, we lose everything." Silence. Malix blinks once, processing. Kira frowns, glancing at Malix. If he was worried about the rift collapsing, then maybe he wasn't as in control of the project as I thought. Alright, the reality of the situation. 1. Rhaegor Ivanov personally funded Project Rift. That's an undisputable fact. He funded the project. He was directly involved in Spine's genetic experiments. Yes, he was. Despite this, he may not have been in full control of the Rift engine. If he's still alive, he knows more than anyone about what really happened. And now, for the first time, Rosia isn't sure she wants to find him. Can only imagine that he's been lying to her for her entire life. Been keeping this entire thing a secret from her. Knowing that he was definitely in some shady stuff. Like, I mean, she couldn't really exactly be proud of her father, but she didn't think he would stoop this low. And it's quite obvious she didn't know her father as well as she thought she did. And that is not good. That's not good at all. My God. Alright, I guess we can go over here to, not concepts, character description. Go to here. So, Project Echo Prime, I guess, is making clones that are trying to, or continually making clones to control the Rift engine. Rift synchronization trials. How do I write this down? How do I write this down? Echo Prime and Rift, it's all very similar stuff. Rift and Echo Prime are very similar. I think Echo Prime is specifically the cloning process specifically to run or manage the Rift project itself. The Rift project is entirely separate. Using echoes, which are, I guess, the actual clones themselves, to work with the Rift itself. Okay, Project Rift. Yeah, let's go to Project Rift. Okay. So we know for a fact Rhaegar personally funded the Rift project. Okay. We know that for sure. He was directly involved in Spine's genetic experiments. We already knew that. Despite this, not in full control of the Rift engine. We don't know too much about the Rift engine either. Oh yeah, here we go. We already got this. Experimentation on biological subjects to enhance the adaptability through the Rift synchronization. And apparently there was Rift synchronization trials on test subjects. Well, obviously that's what that means. Integrating with the Spine network to create living conduits, entities capable of crossing between dimensions. Ay, 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 ay. This is getting complex. Okay. I think we have most of this information already written down or understood just from the data logs and stuff that we've picked up along the way. So I don't think we really need to write down too much of this. I think we already know a lot of this and have we've picked up a bunch of this information. We've gotten more in-depth. I feel like we've gotten more in-depth information on what exactly went on here, and more character development, especially with Rogia and Kira. Now we know a little bit more about Kira too. Rhaegar is obsessed with genetic evolution. I'm gonna save this chat dialogue because that seems important. I'm gonna put it under Rhaegar. Hell, I'll put everything. There you go. All right. Enough saving information. I think we're on the same page now. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Focus. Focus. You can do it. Come on. It's not loading. Oh no. What if I stop it? Alright. Um. Never mind. Just try again. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, objectively, that's worse. What are you doing? Oh, well. Oh man, it's really struggling. Come on, give it like a period or something. Try again. Come on, you can do it. Imagine I have to stop the stream because it literally won't continue to process. Oh, that would suck. That would suck so bad. Oh, here we go. It's actually loading something. The air outside Sector Omega is stagnant and cold, carrying the faint metallic taste of abandoned technology and long-forgotten ruins. The facility looms behind them, a silent monument to everything that's been uncovered inside. Calypsy stands at the entrance, arms crossed, body tense. She's angry. Not just at Kira, not just at Mollix, but at everything. Eudora is a few steps behind her, watching carefully. For a while, she lets Calypsy stew in silence, knowing that trying to force her to talk won't work. But when Calypsy grits her teeth hard enough to make her jaw ache, Eudora finally speaks. You don't have to prove who you are, you know. Calypsy snaps her attention to her eyes sharp. You don't get it, Eudora. Her voice is low, frustrated, layered with something else. They're acting like I'm just another goddamn clone. Like I was made in some lab, dumped out into the world with fake memories. But I know my life. I remember it. Her claws flex slightly, tail flicking behind her. And I know, and now, because I don't have a perfect answer for my childhood, they think they're right. Eudora tilts her head slightly, considering her words. Then she steps forward, slowly, carefully. She doesn't speak immediately. Instead, she kneels down slightly, pressing her palm to the cracked ground. A small vine unfurls from beneath the concrete, wrapping itself around her fingers like a slow heartbeat. Her voice is gentle. Calypsy, do you think this vine is real? Calypsy blinks. She glances at it, confused. Of course it's real. You literally just grew it. Eudora nods, watching the way the vine curls around her wrist. And if I told you that this vine came from a seed that was once destroyed, replanted, regrown, but carrying the same essence as before, would that make it any less real? Calypsy's jaw tightens slightly. She knows what Eudora is trying to say, but she just doesn't want to hear it. That's different. Eudora looks up at her. Is it? Calypsy lets out a frustrated sigh, rubbing her forehead. Ugh, Eudora, I can't. She stops. Her hand drops to her sides. For the first time, her voice shakes slightly. I just don't want it to be a mistake. Silence. Eudora's expression softens. She lets the vines slide away, standing up to face Calypsy directly. You're not. She steps forward, placing a hand gently on her shoulder. You are who you choose to be, not who Spine says you are. Not what Kira thinks you are. You are you. She pauses. But running won't make this go away. Calypsy closes her eyes, exhaling sharply. For a moment, she lets herself believe it. Ah, oh, dang, that one got me. That one really got me. Wow. I can only imagine what Calypsy's going through right now. The fact that Eudora is able to calm her down like that just shows how close of a bond they have. Their friendship has been very long lasting. They've known each other for a very long time, even after the rift. Or the fracture, sorry. After the fracture. I can't remember if they knew each other before the fracture, but it might have been after the fracture. Because what it was like 2,000 is 2,000 years into the future after the fracture, so actually I think they only knew each other during the fracture, now that I think about it. Maybe a couple hundred years or so. The wind howls softly through the ruins, carrying the scent of rusted metal and forgotten history. Calypsy turns to Eudora, her eyes steady, the anger in them simmering rather than burning. Her voice is lower now, more composed but firm. I still want to find Rhaegor. Eudora nods slightly, waiting for her to continue. Calypsy clenches her fists, then exhales, forcing herself to put her thoughts into words. Even if he wasn't the one who cursed me, even if all of this spine bullshit is bigger than I thought. She glances back at the facility's entrance, expression hardening. I need answers from him. Not just about the rift, not just about Kira, about everything. Her claws flex at her sides. Because if I don't get them, I'm gonna go crazy. Eudora studies her for a long moment. Then she nods slowly. Then we'll find him. She doesn't try to tell Calypsy to slow down. She doesn't tell her to let go. But she understands. Because she understands, Calypsy's pain isn't just about revenge anymore. It's about truth. Returning to the team, without another word, Calypsy turns and heads back toward the facility. Eudora follows their footsteps, echoing in the quiet ruins. As they step inside, the rest of the team is waiting. Malik stands with his arms crossed. Rosia looks up, expression carefully neutral. Kira leans against the cryopod, watching with an unreadable look. Calypsy stops a few steps in, eyes scanning the group. Then she speaks. We're hunting Rhaegor, and I need everyone on board. She glances at Rosia, just briefly. Are you in or not? Malik and Rosia exchange a brief glance, their expressions tense yet controlled. The weight of the truth sits between them like a loaded weapon. Rosia's fingers twitch slightly, her tail flicking once before she crosses her arms. Malik's Syncor hums softly, running through probabilities, outcomes, risks, and then they decide. Not yet, not here. Not when Calypsy is already ready to charge headfirst into hunting Rhaegor. There's too much uncertainty, too much rage. If they tell her now, she won't listen. She'll react, and that's too dangerous. Rosia nods slightly, just enough for Malix to understand. Then she looks away, exhaling sharply. We'll tell her when the time is right. Malix doesn't argue. For now, the truth stays hidden, but not forever. Mollix agrees. Rosia reluctantly agrees, but she does have some. Because she definitely does have some questions that she'd like to ask her father. Eudora agreed already, and then I'm having it determine if Kira comes with us. Kira watches them carefully, her golden eyes flickering with something unreadable. For a brief moment, it looks like she might stay behind, like she's weighing whether this fight is truly hers. But then she smirks slightly, shaking her head. You're gonna need me. She pushes off from the cryopod, rolling her shoulders, testing her strength after centuries of stasis. I want answers just as much as you do, and if Rhaegar was involved in the Rift project, then that means he had a hand in locking me away too. Her gaze sharpens, flicking towards Calypsy. And if you're really my successor, or whatever the hell you are, then I'm not letting you walk into this without me. Everyone's on board. Kira joins the team, determined to find out what really happened, and Calypsy has her target. With no more delays, no more hesitations, the team gathers their gear and prepares for the road ahead. Rhaegar won't be easy to find, but they'll find him. When they do, he'll have nowhere left to hide. Mollix cracks his knuckles, setting up his terminal inside the vehicle as the team departs from Sector Omega. So, we're determining that he hasn't been here. Okay, so we're leaving Sector Omega. Okay, so the only one that was in Sector Omega was Kira. Okay. All right. So we left Sector Omega. Only thing that was there was in stasis, right? I guess ChatGPT forgot about the central core fragment. Did we find it? Maybe did we already defeat? I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see. This is more important, anyways, right? Let's see. Terminal inside the vehicle departs from Sector Omega. His sync core pulses tapping into the deepest remnants of Spine's encrypted archives. This isn't just a hack. This is a takeover. Within minutes, Mollix bypasses old security protocols, overrides fragmented firewalls, and unearths classified data buried beneath layers of digital corruption. His visor flicks with thousands of lines of data scrolling past at impossible speeds, and then a ping, a location. Rhaegar Ivanov. The last confirmed sighting was Sector 0. Another location. Yay. Alright. Location type is a black site research facility. Redacted operations. Malix leans back, exhaling sharply. Got him. Got him. The team gathers around the display, staring at the coordinates that pulse ominously on the screen. Kira frowns. Sector 0? That place is practically erased from all the records. Rosia stiffens. I thought it was just a myth. Eudora looks unsettled. I don't like the energy around this. It's wrong. Calypsy watches the screen, jaw tightening. Sector 0, a place so heavily classified it doesn't officially exist. And Rhaegor is there, waiting. Well, we don't know that. We don't know that for sure, but that's his last known location. Malix prepares additional firewalls. No. All right, let's see. We're not going to call it Chapter 3 yet. The road back to the base is quiet. Not because there's nothing to say, but because there's too much. The vehicle hums as it cuts through the desolate landscape, the neon glow of distant cyberpunk skylines flickering in the horizon. The aftermath of Sector Omega's revelations weighs on the team, unspoken, unresolved. Kira sits near the back, arms crossed, staring at the passing scenery through the window. Her golden eyes reflect the neon lights, but her mind is elsewhere. Calypsy grips the wheel tightly, laser focused, the tension in her jaw making it clear. This isn't over. Rosia leans against the side, quiet, lost in thought. Malix typed away on his sync core, already working on securing their systems, running silent countermeasures, preparing for what comes next. Eudora's the only one who speaks, her voice low but steady. We'll need to be at full strength before heading to Sector 0. A statement of fact. A reminder that even now, they're not ready. They need to prepare. Arrival at the base. As the vehicle pulls up to the hidden base, the worn-out facility stands just as they left it. The defenses are still intact, turrets scanning the perimeter, and the drones remain operational. But now there's something different. They're not just returning to recover, they're preparing for war. Let's see. First order of business. Kira's gear. The first thing she that the team does after settling is getting Kira outfitted. She's still wearing the remnants of her cryostasis suit, torn and useless. She needs armor, she needs weapons. Yep, makes sense. Malik scans the armory, pulling up options. We've got a few choices. Let's gear her up properly. Available options. Ooh. Okay, tactical recon armor, experimental rift suit, a hybrid combat plating, or modified infiltrator suit. She says, "You woke me up. It's your call." Let's see. Yeah, I think Mollix would do something like help assist her. Let's see. Mollix asks her what kind of style she fights in, if she even knows. What kind of skills does she have? Kira tilts her head slightly, her golden eyes narrowing as she considers Mollix's question. For a moment, she doesn't answer right away. Then she rolls her shoulders, stretching slightly as if testing her limits of her newly awakened body. I remember fighting, her voice measured, thoughtful. It wasn't just instinct, I was trained. But my body feels different now. I don't know if I fight the same way I did before. She lifts one of her hands, flexing her fingers. There's a small distortion in the air around her fingertips, a shimmer of rift energy flickering for half a second before vanishing. She frowns. That's new. Yeah. After testing and memory recall, Kira pieces together the core of her fighting style. Rift instincts, enhanced reflexes and adaptability, but unpredictable. Sometimes she moves faster than she thinks, and if she's operating half a second ahead of reality. As if she's operating half a second ahead of reality. Close quarters combat, she prefers fast, brutal melee strikes, using either blades, claws, or enhanced strikes. Highly proficient in disarming and counterattacks. Rift Echo. Ooh, Rift Echo strikes. Occasionally, when she moves or attacks, an after image of herself lingers for a fraction of a second, mimicking her movements. This happens at random, but she can feel it trying to stabilize. Unstable rift manipulation. Unlike Mollix's sync core, Kira's connection to the rift is raw and untamed. Sometimes, when she's hit or under stress, small anomalies occur around her. A distortion in reality, a flicker of movement that shouldn't exist. She exhales slowly, running a hand through her silver white hair. I need something that lets me move, nothing too heavy. We could totally go full out on her unstability-ness and just give her the experimental rift suit. Although we could give her the modified infiltrator suit, then enhance her stealth and close quarter strikes. Oh. Should we do a mock battle? Should we do a mock battle? Should we find out like a battle room and then have two of the characters fight? Set their guns to like not actually be able to kill someone. That might be interesting. I'm gonna give her the experimental rift suit, honestly. Make her instability also a what am I trying to think of? Mollix offers up the experimental rift suit, might make her unstable. I should say unstable. Also unpredictable. Kira eyes the experimental rift suit with mixture of curiosity and caution. Her clawed fingers brush over the fabric, and for a moment, there's a flicker of something across her expression. She doesn't say it, but the look on her face suggests she's seen something like this before. Still, she grins slightly, rolling her shoulders. Unstable and unpredictable, huh? She takes the suit, running her fingers over the plating. Sounds like me. Mollix gives her a slight nod, watching closely. This could amplify your rift connection, but it could also throw you into an energy backlash if it's not calibrated properly. Kira shrugs, slipping into the suit with practiced ease. Guess we'll find out. Calypso leans against the armory wall, smirking slightly as she watches Kira adjust the suit. Then, without missing a beat, she throws out the idea. How about a little test, then? The room goes silent for a second. Kira pauses mid-adjustment, blinking. She turned to Clipsy, golden eyes glinting. You're serious? Clipsy grins, rolling his shoulders. You're supposed to be my predecessor, right? Let's see if you can keep up. Mollix watches carefully, intrigued but wary. This could either go really well or really badly. Rosia leans against the wall, tail flicking. Okay. I'm fine with watching you two punch each other. Eudora sighs but doesn't object. Just try not to destroy the base while you're at it. Kira tilts her head, studying Clipsy. Then, after a moment, she smirks. Fine. Let's see what you've got, successor. Mock battle setup. The showdown between Calypsy and Kira. Calypsy versus Kira, a test of strength, speed, and control. Kira is using the experimental rift suit, which may cause unpredictable effects. Calypsy is armed with her prototype energy blade. Oh, rules of engagement. First to land 3 decisive blows wins. No lethal attacks, just sparring level force. If rift instability occurs, the fight pauses for analysis. That's fair. How does Calypsy approach the fight? Ooh. Aggressive and direct, defensive calculated, unpredictable, and adaptive. Ooh. I think since she doesn't know anything about Kira, I feel like she would be a little bit defensive. But also, that's not Calypsy's style. Calypsy's style would be aggressive and direct. But she's more likely to miss with Kira being so glitchy and unstable. Yeah, I think she's gonna go for defensive and calculated, just because she's not certain. And she also really doesn't want to lose. The training area inside the base isn't anything fancy, just an open reinforced section designed for combat drills. The metal floor panels hum softly as the facility's automated systems detect combat protocols activating. Calypsy steps forward, energy blade igniting with a sharp hiss. Does Kira even get a weapon? Does she get a weapon? This doesn't seem fair if she doesn't get a weapon. I guess she does get some kind of weapon, right? Like the rift stuff. Kira stands across from her, rolling her shoulders, stretching her fingers as if testing her body's movement in the rift suit. She smirks slightly. You sure about this, successor? Calypsy doesn't take the bait. She's done running on pure emotion. This fight isn't about pride, it's about learning. She studies her stance, keeping her weight light, her movements precise. She's going to watch first, analyze, adapt. She isn't going to lose. Calypsy stays defensive and calculated, waiting for Kira to make the first move. Kira tilts her head, golden eyes glinting. Then she vanishes. A blink of distortion where she stood, and suddenly she's behind Calypsy, swinging with brutal speed. Calypsy turns just in time, raising her energy blade to deflect. A shockwave pulses from the clash, sending both of them skidding backward. Not bad, Kira mutters, shaking out her wrist. Calypsy narrows her eyes. She's fast, faster than normal. But that wasn't just speed, it was something else. Round 1. She watches Kira's stance, carefully noting the flickers of rift distortion around her limbs. This isn't just quick movement. She's phasing between micro moments of time, flickering ahead of herself. Unstable, but effective. Calypsy takes a slow breath, centering herself. She won't win in a raw speed match. She needs to predict. Kira lunges forward, flickering mid-strike, aiming a feint toward Calypsy's ribs before pivoting into an elbow into her jaw, or toward her jaw. Calypsy sees it. She moves just slightly to the left, not dodging, but angling her position. At the last second, when Kira fully commits to the strike, Calypsy sidesteps completely, slamming an open palm strike into Kira's back and forcing her forward off balance. Direct hit. Calypsy, 1-0. Kira grunts, rolling forward from the impact. She stops herself, flicking her hair out of her face, and grins. Oh, you're good. Molly's locked onto the fight, analyzing every movement, his Syncor pulses, tracking rift distortions in real time. Rosia leans against the railing, arms crossed, watching with silent interest. Eudora has a slight smirk. She knows Calypsy fights smart, not just strong. In certain aspects, sometimes she does, but when she's using her emotions and she's fueled with more emotion than she can handle, she does not care. Although she is still a really good fighter. Don't get me wrong, she is a really good fighter, but she definitely has a lot of emotion built up in her fighting style that doesn't always work out in her favor. Kira rolls her shoulders, standing again. All right, no more holding back then. She vanishes again, this time faster. Oh man, how does Calypsy handle her next attack? Stick to defensive play, switch to counteroffensive, or use the rift instability against her. Ooh, if Kira's rift abilities are unstable, Calypsy might be able to force a misfire, disrupting her attacks. Ooh. Ooh, that's a good one. Let's do that one. That's a really good one. Calypsy doesn't charge in. She doesn't switch to aggression. She doesn't try to match Kira's speed. Instead, she watches, waits, because she's figured something out. Mollix had warned about the Rift suit. It was experimental, built for enhancement, but also prone to uncontrollable anomalies. Calypsy had seen it happen twice already. A flicker before Kira's attacks, an afterimage that lingers for a second too long. That's her weakness. Kira isn't just fast. She's too fast. Her body moves ahead of itself, ahead of time. If Calypsy can predict where the rift distortion will force Kira's body to go, she can hit her before she even gets there. The second exchange. Round 2. Fight! Kira dashes in again, flickering through reality like a glitch in the system. She appears to Calypsy's right, going in for a high kick, but her rift distortion reveals something different. A faint shimmer behind her. That's where she'll really be. Calypsy reacts instantly. Instead of blocking where Kira is now, she spins and swings where she's going to be in a half a second. The hit lands. A clean strike to Kira's side, throwing her completely off balance. Direct hit, 2-0. Kira stumbles, catching herself before hitting the ground. She breathes in sharply, blinking. Then, for the first time, she laughs. Damn. She straightens, rolling her shoulders, golden eyes narrowing. You read the rift. Calypsy smirks slightly, shifting her stance again. No, I read you. Mollix tilts his head slightly, intrigued. His Syncor pulses, noting the data. Calypsy isn't just reacting, she's learning the rift distortions as they happen. Rosia lets out a quiet breath. She's good. Eudora gives a small, knowing smile. She had expected nothing less. Kira grins. Alright, successor. Well, you want to play that game? Her body flickers, but not like before. This time, she lets the rift consume her completely. For a moment, she vanishes. Fully commit. Hold back. Gambles on an energy surge. I think I want to throw Kira off balance with this one. I think I'm going to let Kira make the first move and then counter real hard. Because Kira's already expecting me to, or expecting Clipsy to go with the Rift. And it sounds like Kira's got something up her sleeve. So if I have her hold back instead, and kind of like dodge and counterattack, then she won't be expecting that at all. She'll be thinking, oh, Clipsy's only thinking of the Rift and watching for that. She's not watching anything else. So here we go. Let's do that. It might be a dumb move, but I have a feeling this might do it. It would be completely unexpected. You would think that Clipsy would still follow the Rift. The Rift, I'm going to say Rift projection. Yep, Clipsy doesn't move. She stays perfectly still, blade held steady, muscles coiled but relaxed. Kira has vanished completely. No flicker, no distortion, just gone. The only sound in the room is the low hum of the base's power grid. No footsteps, no breathing, no movement. Clipsy knows exactly what's happening. Kira isn't just flickering through the rift anymore. She's staying inside of it. And that means that when she reappears, she'll be moving faster than anything Clipsy has faced yet. Malix watches through his sync core. He sees nothing. That's new. Rosia tenses slightly, tail flicking. She's waiting to phase in for the perfect strike. Eudora tilts her head slightly. Then Clipsy needs to make sure it's not perfect. A fraction of a second. That's all the time there is. Kira blinks back into existence directly behind Clipsy. Her claws outstretched, going for a brutal knockdown. It strikes so fast, so precise, that if it lands, it will end the fight immediately. But Calypsy was already waiting. She twists. Kira's strike comes down, and Calypsy pivots, dropping her weight low. Kira's attack misses by half an inch as Calypsy catches her arm mid-swing. Oh my god. And drives her knee into Kira's stomach, sending her flying backwards. Kira slams onto the floor, breathing hard. Direct hit, 3-0. Calypsy's the winner. For a second, there's complete silence. Kira lays on her back, exhaling sharply. Then, she laughs. Not bitter, not angry. Just impressed. Calypsy steps back, shaking out her hands. Blade deactivating. She didn't even really use her blade, but that's okay. She could have, but she didn't. I think it would have done too much damage anyway, so it's fine. Kira sits up, rubbing the back of her head. Alright, you win. Her golden eyes flash slightly as she smirks. But next time, I'll have more control of my rift phase. She climbs to her feet, dusting herself off. Then she extends a hand. Good fight, successor. Malix records the data, nodding approvingly. She figured you out fast. Rogia lets out a low whistle. Didn't even let her land a hit. Eudora chuckles softly. That was good to watch. Calypsy takes Kira's hand, shaking it firmly. For the first time since they met, there's something between them besides tension. A mutual understanding. think I need to make it more of a character chart for. Let's see where am I at. Her. Let's see. We can temporarily add her to the group. So let's do that. She has that suit. Let me go back up. Suit. Experimental rift suit. Here we go. Alright, and that is a item. That is fine. Hello. We don't have any real weapons laying around the base. Everyone seems to have a rifle of some kind. Maybe I should give her the sidearm just so that she has a weapon of some kind to shoot. Let me ask, does Kira's abilities allow her to fire any kind of projectile? Or does she need a weapon? Come on, stop that. There you go. Kira's rift abilities are primarily close quarters oriented, relying on enhanced speed, phasing, and after image strikes. However, her abilities are unstable, meaning there is a potential for projectile-based attacks if she learns to control them. Rift Echo strikes. After image of herself can momentarily persist after movement or attacks. They don't have any offensive properties. Unstable rift manipulation. Yeah. Close quarters combat. Okay, so she's mostly a close quarters combat kind of person. Ooh, possible future. Rift Shockwave. If she stabilizes her power, she may be able to condense and launch rift energy in short-range bursts, but she currently lacks fine control. Melee-focused hybrid option. Until she refines her rift projection, She would need a ranged weapon to be effective at a distance. Yeah. Um... I think Outpost 17 is the closest. Purchase something for her. I am going to give her one of these standard medical kits. Just so that she has it on her. We're at the base right now, so it doesn't matter if I just give her stuff. Yeah, it's fine. Mollusk glances at the armory, scanning their current inventory. Nothing. Yeah, we don't have any spare weapons. Everything's already assigned to the team. He exhales through his nose, glancing at Kira. We don't have anything extra laying around. Kira raises an eyebrow, crossing her arms. Figures. Clipsy leans against the wall, tail flicking. Then let's make a trip to Outpost 17. Mollusk nods. That's the best option. We can resupply, check for intel, and Rosia cuts in, smirking slightly. And hopefully not get shot at while we're there. Outpost 17 is one of the few remaining neutral trade zones in this war-torn cyber dystopia. A sprawling neon-lit hive of mercenaries, scavengers, and black market dealers. Weapons, cybernetics, rail check, it's all for sale. Security is tight, but bribery is common. Spine forces rarely patrol here, but there's always eyes watching. If they're going to purchase a weapon for Kira, they'll need to be careful, because nothing in Outpost 17 comes without a price. Let's see here. The team's vehicle pulls up to the neon-drenched trade hub of Outpost 17. Its towering, rusted skyscrapers and flickering holographic signs cast eerie light across the streets. It smells of burning metal, ozone, and desperation. Yep. The streets are packed with all kinds of people, mercenaries, scavengers, black market tech dealers, and bounty hunters. Despite the chaotic energy, there's an understanding among all who enter. No fights, no weapons drawn, no trouble. Or security will handle it. Weapon dealer Grit, a cyber arms merchant. Cool. Team moves through the crowded streets, making their way to a hidden weapons vendor built into a reinforced bunker. Mechanical iris door scans them, then hisses open. Inside, smell of oil and plasma burns fills the air. The walls are lined with firearms, blades, explosives, and prototype weapons scavenged from long-forgotten wars. Behind the counter, a tall, cybernetically enhanced hyena, hyena-like humanoid, sits cleaning an energy rifle, his mechanical arms humming softly. What an image I've just walked into. He grins, his sharp teeth flashing under dim industrial lighting. Well, look what the rift dragged in. His voice is low, gravelly with an unnatural echo. What can I do for you, strangers? Looking to kill something or someone? Weapons for sale. Let's see. There's energy-based weapons, phase repeater pistol, disruptor rifle, plasma carbine, silenced particle sniper. Ooh, doesn't make sense for her since she's long range, but that would be long range, and she needs to be up close and personal. Ooh, melee and hybrid weapons. This sounds more her style. Energy claw gauntlets. A pair of retractable energy claws built for quick and brutal melee combat. Ooh, that is nice. I like that. Vibro blade? Vibro blade? Short sword. A sleek, high-frequency melee weapon that vibrates at extreme speeds, allowing it to slice through armor. Whoa. That sounds expensive. A shock baton? No. Experimental rift blade. There's no way. Should we make her a completely unstable build? Oh my god, a prototype weapon that phases in and out of existence when swung, causing unpredictable attack patterns. Highly unstable. Oh my god. We could so just make her a completely unstable, like, rift anomaly character that is just so unpredictable to dodge. Just make all of her attacks just so crazy that you're just like, how did you hit me? How did you even hit me? Oh man, we so could. Oh, but the energy claws sounds so good too. We could buy both. We could probably buy both. I don't know how much money we have. I should probably keep track of that. I should have given myself like a default like starting amount of money. And been like, I had to sell stuff if I wanted more stuff. But I don't know. The hyena man leans forward, scanning the group. Alright, you got creds, right? Because nothing here is cheap. His cybernetic fingers tap the counter. Tell me what you need, and maybe I'll cut you a deal. Or maybe I won't. Depend on how much I like ya. Oh man. Now I have to kind of like limit myself here, because if I just say, oh, like I have all the money, I can just buy whatever I want, that's not really fair. gotta say that they dropped this stuff off at the base. Is there anything we have we don't need? There's a biostabilizer, but that could come in so handy if somebody gets hurt and we can't actually heal them. Like, say Eudora goes down and she's like our only healer, so we can quickly get her back up with the stabilizer. Oh man. This is back up base too. We should have brought, like, let's say that we brought our high grade energy cells, just so that we can sell them potentially. We'll say that you're carrying them. Both defense systems, potential weapon enhancements. I mean, stop that. Yeah, maybe I need to keep track of that money too. Maybe I'll put it at the top, like, money. How much we got? Let's do like credits. It's credits, right? I don't know how tight we are for credits. Let's see how much he'll buy this for. 505 credits. 505 credits for a high-grade energy cell. I mean, I've got 2. I mean, I have 3, but I would like to keep 1 for myself. Let's give ourselves... what's reasonable? What's a reasonable credit amount to give myself? To say that we've already had money before. I mean, we weren't broke. We weren't like a broke group. Let's say if we pulled all of our money together as a group, let's say like 1,000 credits. Does that seem reasonable? 1,000 credits? I mean, he's offering 500 credits for a high grade energy cell. So, I mean, I would assume we've sold something like that before. 1,000 credits from all of us, like all 4 characters, sounds reasonable. I mean, maybe a little poor, but it's not nothing. I think that's the most important part there, is it's not nothing. So we have a little bit of money to play with, just not a lot. And we can definitely sell a lot more things. So we're going to sell 2. So hopefully that'll bump us up to like 5 over. It'll be, so we'll have 2,000 to play with. Yeah, 1,010. So it'll be at 2,010 credits. Sounds reasonable. Grit grins, sliding the credits across the counter as he takes the 2 high energy grade cells. Pleasure doing business. Power like this, always in demand. He stores the energy cells away in a secure compartment. The hum of the charging capacitors faintly audible as they're absorbed into his inventory. Updated credit balance. That is how you spell bargain, right? Bargain? Bargain? Bargain. It's bargain, right? Such a weird word. Bargain. Bargain. Bargain for both the energy claw gauntlets and the experimental rift blade. Maybe a package deal. Because I want both. I kind of want both of those. $1,570 for both. Ooh, that'll leave us with about 500, less than when we started with, but still a good deal. Grit leans back, considering Mollix's proposal with a slow, deliberate nod. He taps his cybernetic fingers on the counter, glancing between the energy claw gauntlets and the experimental rift blade before finally exhaling through his jagged teeth. You drive a hard bargain, tech head. Normally, both of these together would run you about 1963 credits. His golden cybernetic eye flickers, scanning the team before he shrugs. But hell, I like a good package deal. Let's knock it down about 20%. He grins wide, fangs glinting in the dim light. 1,570 credits for both. Take it or leave it. Oh yeah, I am for sure accepting that deal. Hell yeah. Yep. Oh. 1,570. We got 440 left. It's not terrible, not the worst. We still got some money, so that's good. I wonder how we're gonna use both of these. I might have just bought these for no fucking reason, because I don't know if we can use both of them at the same time, or like who. I should have thought more about this purchase before I purchased them. but the claws, the claw. I don't listen. I know the Kira, that blade would match Kira's rift ability so well, so I had to get it for her, right? It would just enhance her unpredictability, and I feel like we're going with that vibe for her entire like build. It's an unpredictable mess of a build. Grit grins, shaking his head as he slides the two weapons across the counter. Ain't often people leave my shop with rift tier gear, but you look like the type to put them to good use. He taps the console on his wrist, finalizing the transaction. The credits are deducted, and the energy claw gauntlets and the experimental rift blade are now officially in the team's hands. The gauntlets hum softly, retractable energy claws flicking as they power on. The experimental rift blade, unstable as ever, shifts slightly in and out of existence as if it's lifted, pulsing like it's barely clinging to reality. Kira picks up the rift blade, testing its weight. She swings once, and for a fraction of a second, the blade disappears mid-motion before reappearing at the end of the strike. She smirks. Yeah, this'll work. Alright, updated inventory. Let's put these in. Hell yeah. So we're definitely going to give the experimental rift blade to Aurelian, or Kira, sorry. Can I please? Thank you. And I'll put... Oh, it also says that the energy claw gauntlets are perfect for Kira too, so... And then the energy claw gauntlets as well. Here, we'll give it to her as well. Maybe we'll even see if Clipsy wants to use them sometime too. Sharing is caring, right? Sharing is caring. Who says they can't share their weapons? Their names aren't literally attached to them, so. I'm going to write equipped for probably the blade and the suit. I mean, the suit is kind of obvious because she's wearing it. The energy claw gauntlets are not, though. There you go. Alright, let's see. The hyena-like merchant leans on the counter, watching the team with a curious expression. So, what are y'all gearing up for? You got the look of people about to start a war. His cybernetic fingers drum idly against the metal table. And if it's a war, maybe I want to know who's gonna be left standing when the dust settles. Oh. Oh yeah, definitely ask him if he knows. If he's gonna pry like this, I'm gonna ask him for information first. I'm gonna subtly hint. I mean, obviously, if we're asking if he knows anything about Rhaegor, he's gonna know that we're going after him. So, let's see, tell him are after Rhaegor and ask if, what was his name? Grit. Are you doing a roll right now to determine if... What did you just roll for? I don't know what he rolled for. Oh, I guess determine if he's gonna tell us anything or not. Oh no. I don't like how this is starting out. At the mention of Rhaegor Ivanov, Grit's grin vanishes. His cybernetic eye flickers, and for the first time, he actually looks serious. He leans forward, lowering his voice. You're hunting Rhaegor? A low chuckle escapes him, but there's no humor in it. Shit, you lot must have a damn death wish. Malix tilts his head slightly. That implies you actually know something. Grit exhales, rolling his shoulders before glancing around the shop. His fingers tap against the counter, his mind clearly debating whether or not to talk. Then he makes up his mind. What Grit knows, Rhaegar isn't just in hiding. He's running something. Something big. He operates outside of Spine's immediate control. But that doesn't mean they aren't connected. The last time someone went looking for him, they never came back. His last confirmed movement wasn't Sector 0. It was somewhere called the Mall. Excuse me? The Mall. Oh my god, what? What? The Mall. What a name. What a name. Alright, let me add this. Add this. Add the Mall. Looks like we might not be heading to might not be heading to Sector 0 at all. Gonna put a strike through this. Yup. That's wrong. Alright, the Mall, the last known location of Rhaegar. It's a good thing we got that information, because otherwise we would have gone to Sector 0 and not found him again. Calypsy narrows her eyes. The Mall? That sounds like a bad fucking time. Grit snorts, shaking his head. It ain't a place exactly. It's an old world megastructure left to rot in the wastes. No official records exist anymore. Hell, even the most suicidal mercs won't go near it. He glances at Roja. Oh, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that. Just ignore that part. But if you're his daughter, that might get you in, or it might get you a shot. Hard to say. Grit leans in slightly, his voice low. Look, you want to find Rhaegar? You go to the Mall. His cybernetic fingers strum the counter. But if you step foot in there without a plan, you're already dead. He gestures at the weapons. Keep them close. You're gonna need them. Head straight for the Mall. No delays. Nope. Recon. Gather information. Probably a good idea. Prepare the base for war. I think we should go back to the base. I think we should go back to the base and do a little bit of training to hone our skills, and maybe work with Kira to prepare sort of a battle plan and try to work together to fight and see how they can use their abilities to work together, sort of. I think that sounds like a really good idea. I like Grit. Grit's a cool character. Did they say what the place at the name of this place was? Might go back there if we want to buy more. If you ever want to buy more weapons. Come on, let me scroll back up. Blades and barrels. Oh, it's just a weapon dealer. Grit. Doesn't look like his place has a name. Okay, that's fine. There you go. I like that. I like that description. Outpost 17 is kind of like where we go for like, we can go for a drink at the Broken Circuit. We can get information and stuff. It looks like we can also visit the Grit. We can visit Grit for the weapons and armor and stuff like that. We need to buy more stuff, sell stuff probably to him too. It sounds like he'll buy pretty much anything. So we have one high-grade energy cell left. Okay, Eudora just has a basic energy rifle. Maybe we could try upgrading that. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Why can't I spell? Come on, exercises. Mollix's upgrade, Eudora's enhanced energy rifle. Mollix gets to work in the workshop, cracking open the last high-grade energy cell and integrating it into Eudora's energy rifle. The process is delicate. One wrong move and the power source could overload. Eudora stands nearby, arms crossed, watching closely. Don't mess with the balance too much. I need precision, not just raw power. Mollix nods, barely looking up. Trust me, you'll get both. After hours of tuning, optimizing, calibrating, the upgrade is a success. Eudora's energy rifle has been significantly enhanced. Increased power output, optimized energy consumption, and better recoil stability. Nice. So let's say it is now enhanced. Would it be like enhanced energy rifle? I don't know. How does that work? Enhanced, probably. Like that. Yeah, that's good. Do something like this. Enhanced. Give it this. Just to kind of remember that we did that. It's fine. Alright. Eudora picks up the rifle, testing the grip. She aims at the training range, fires once. Bright controlled energy fires. A bright controlled energy shot fires forward, piercing through the reinforced plating. Alright, this'll do. Told you. Rosia and Kira stealth and infiltration drills. While Rosia and Kira move through the dimly lit corridors of the base, practicing silent movement, shadow manipulation, and close quarters takedowns. Rosia leads the training, demonstrating techniques she's mastered as a private investigator. Kira, however, has a natural instinct for it. She moves too fast, too fluidly, phasing slightly between movements, making her nearly impossible to track when she's focused. When she focuses, yeah. At one point, Rosia loses sight of her completely. Then, a whisper in her ear. Gotcha. Rosia spins, catching Kira mid-phase and slamming her against the wall. Kira grins. Nice, but can you do it again? They train for hours, refining their stealth approach for the mall. Clipsy stands in the training area, gripping her prototype energy blade tightly. She moves through a series of precise fluid strikes, cutting through simulated enemy dummies. She's not satisfied. She needs to be faster, sharper. She adjusts her stance, shifts her weight differently, each attack faster than the last. Then she starts integrating her No, she doesn't. She doesn't do that. It's a concentration spell. She cannot attack while she fights. It's a combat style, pushing herself to the limit. However, she quickly realizes her ability isn't something she can use mid-battle when attacking. It requires focus, stillness, and controlled movement to make eye contact and speak with intent. This means that she has to strategize differently. She can't use hypnosis while in full speed attack. She needs to create openings, moments where her opponent is forced to listen. If she does use it, she needs to ensure she has allies covering her. It's a limitation, but one she can work around. Now that she understands her power's restrictions, she focuses entirely on raw combat ability, ensuring she can hold her own even without her hypnosis. She focuses the training session stronger, sharper, prepared for what's ahead. Alright, guys, I think that this is it for this stream. It's a little bit longer than the last one, quite a bit shorter than the first one. I don't think I could stream for 7 hours again unless I was really in the mood to do so. But damn, so we've recruited Kira. She's now, I guess, a part of our little group for now. I don't know. I'm probably not going to add her to the list on the bottom of the page because she's more like a temporary character, like a side character. So she won't be here for that long. She might. I feel like she might go her own way after this whole Rhaegor thing is situated. Once she's gotten the answers she needs, she might be able to go her own way. There's only room for 4 on this team. Sorry, Kira, but you're an amazing character, and I'm sure you will. You'll be able to handle yourself out there. She'll actually be able to live her own life now. After this, she's being cryostasis for what they say 500 years, and she can finally now just actually live her life rather than be a tool in storage waiting to be used again, if it would ever be used again. I don't think she would have been, honestly. I think they would have just kept her there forever. I think the whole idea that Calypsy might also be a clone is definitely very interesting. She's still very much in denial because, one, she remembers her entire childhood. Even though they said she remembers it faintly, I still believe that she full well knows like what happened in her childhood, how she grew up, stuff like that. She might be missing some details, but like standard stuff that you would normally forget anyways. Like you wouldn't remember everything. But maybe they had implanted those memories. Maybe that's exactly why she remembers those things, is because they implanted those to make her think that she lived a full life. It's possible. It's very possible. I don't know. That's a new development that I had not foreseen. I did not know that was going to happen. I knew that she was involved with spying somehow. I just wasn't sure how, and I guess this is it. I guess that's how it goes. And I guess we're gonna find out more once we find Rhaegor. Find him, figure out what information we need to know. Calypsy's probably gonna finally find out that Rhaegor is Rosia's father, and all that drama's gonna be done with. Everyone but Calypsy knows now, so it's a little hard to hide it from Calypsy now, because, I don't know. Plus, Calypsy's feeling a little bit iffy now about Rhaegor. I mean, she definitely wants answers from him, but she's not really so much on the war path that she was on. She doesn't want to outright kill him anymore, which is very interesting. I mean, sure, he's a bad guy. He is a big baddie, right? He is not a good person. He's not a good human, but we'll see. I guess we'll see. Anyway, yep, thanks for watching. Appreciate anyone stopping by and listening to me pretty much ramble for 3.5 hours. But this story is really getting good. I'm quite enjoying this. I'm really glad I did this with my inventory so that I can actually organize things. Like, look at this list of items. Like, this is so many items I would not be able to keep track of on my own. Like, that's so much. Like, look at this. If I go here, like, all of these things, all of the blue dots, those are all items. These are just references to these characters. The yellow ones. Or no, these ones. These ones are references to characters. These ones are the actual characters themselves. So yeah, see, like, hashtag Molex, that means that he was referenced in several different things. Like, obviously he's referenced in his own character tag, but he's also referenced in Project Echo, in Outpost 17. His neural sync core obviously references him. His wrist drone interface that is currently equipped by Clipsy. So yeah, it's still his though. He owns that. He gave it to her for her to use. But yeah, I'm excited to maybe see this entire thing grow. Just so many more places and things, and I don't know, just so much stuff. Oh, look at this. This is supposed to be over here. Like, all these blue things are like all just items, just different kinds of items. Oh, I see. These are all attached to the base. This is the base inventory here, and this is the group inventory here. So they carry a lot of stuff. I mean, it's 5 characters now, so of course they have a lot of items with them. So, but yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna close the stream. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.